welcome everybody to the show. Today we're talking, I don't know, pet peeves, rants. Jacob seems to have something off his chest. Um, Not to count the perhaps what he was doing before the video rolled right now. It might have been some kind of thing in his
Hello, indigestion, Ruben.
it sounded. I'm glad. I hope you didn't catch that. So he's got more off his chest than that. But
Jeez.
I guess the question, Jacob, is you have, I believe, some pet peeves that you want to share, and let's start, I guess, with the one I don't understand, maybe, and then the one I do understand a little bit later. Maybe we'll both chime in on. You mentioned something that about, I don't know, announcements in school over the intercom that you get interrupted a lot. I'm not sure I understand because I don't think I relate to that, but you explain yourself.
Well, at our school, Ruben, we have this intercom. I'm sure you guys have maybe something. So maybe you don't have it.
We do,
You do? Well,
but there's not a lot of interruptions, but go on.
there are times now. I'm not saying it's every day, but there are times where I feel like I'm getting overwhelmed by the same announcement over and over again. And or there are times where even it's a combination of that with alarms going off, you know. And so there have been times how I handled it is I muffled it up with like some paper, not paper, but some cloth. But then I got in trouble for that because like that could be a problem. So that was my way of handling it because it just Ruben, I get in a zone where I'm ready to teach, ready to go, and then here's the interruption. Okay, we're good. I got what the information is. 2 minutes, not 2 minutes, like a minute later, the same announcement. And I'm not lying to you. Many times it's 3 times the same exact thing. Okay. And so I'm sorry, just is it because I'm getting older? I don't know. Maybe I'm not sure if you don't understand this one, Rube, but I don't like it. I don't. And I think other people could at least feel for me or feel like, yeah, other teachers, I think, understand what I'm saying.
So over the loudspeaker, the school loudspeaker, they're
Yes.
making announcements in the middle of class.
Sometimes the class is not in the middle, but it's maybe sometimes it's 10 minutes in or 10 minutes before the bow ends. So to me, that's still part of my time, right? If it's the last minute or the first, now I do get announcements the first and last minute, but sometimes it's within like 10
There-
minutes in or 10 minutes before.
this
And I
is
think it's ridiculous.
Yes, I agree with you. We do not experience that at my school. So it's odd. We only have announcements at the beginning of second period.
Yeah.
There's Pledge of Allegiance, school-wide, morning announcements. They're very brief. It's usually a student who participates in delivering those announcements. That's it.
No. We get every period we get saying, hey, get to class. And this guy just saying, get to class and get to class and get to class.
Oh, man.
And I'm like, okay, that's enough. The bell rang. You need to be in your do the bell rang and you need to be in your seat.
That's very insightful
Yeah.
that a school is doing that. It's not a very effective means of ensuring students go to class.
No, it's too much. And
That's probably for another video, but scolding somebody and repeating yourself is really an insight into some of your leadership. I hate to say it.
I will say this to be fair. Yeah, I'm not
I shouldn't be so judgmental.
well, I'm not sure exactly who.
Maybe you should edit this part out. I don't mean to
No,
judge your school. I just mean maybe it's just insightful into that person who's get to class.
I think it's the person. It's not like someone saying, "Hey, do that." I think he decided to make those announcements, and no one's just stopped him. So there is some somebody above him.
I'm understanding you now, and I am sharing your frustration.
Thank you.
It's annoying
Appreciate that.
hearing it. Okay.
I have others though, but I mean, am I because I'm getting old? I have all these. You probably don't have any, huh? Pet peeves.
No, my pet peeves have to do with things that can't really be changed. The structural things
Oh, okay.
that are
Paperwork
happening around around the minutia and the paperwork and the verbiage around IEPs. There are things that are just real systematic and too strong, too powerful to ever change. Maybe I'm sounding too cynical, but let me go to you. Is there anything briefly you'd like to say besides that? I thought we were just talking about a couple of things here.
I have a couple of them more. I have a couple more. I have the restroom situation.
No, Yeah, we already talked about that one. We're going to talk about that, but is there something else besides those two?
I have one more. That's not a major one, but there's a little tiny one I have
What is that?
regarding bringing out makeup and putting it. It just, and I know it's high school kids, girls, and they want to get all cleaned up, but I just say, hey, that's enough. And it's usually towards the end of the period. So I'm starting to think, well, you know what? I think that's just my own pet peeve. It's not like
Well,
they're doing in the middle of a lesson or anything, but it's towards the end of the period. And I know they're not doing right in the middle of my speaking, but or an activity. But it's
is
just, I don't,
that, but isn't that more of a classroom management thing?
it is. And I guess I could go hard on it. I just decide not to. I guess I wish it just didn't happen. And now I understand that this is something, if it really is peeving me, I need to address it.
Take care of
I
business.
haven't.
Don't
Yes, take care of
don't,
business.
don't
But
bring this on. Don't bring
I
this
just wanted to
onto our
complain.
channel. Don't bring
I
this
just
on.
wanted to complain a little bit. All right, never mind. We'll move
All
on.
right, let's move on to what we're going to talk about that is truly epidemic, at least at our school. Teachers complain about this. You brought this up. Bring it up again. You just
This
mentioned
is dealing with the restroom, because kids have to go, and you never know if they really have to go or not. You just I can't judge if they, and I let them go unless I see it's the same person going every single. And I'll tell them, you can't. You only go once this week. You better figure out which day you want to go. But what I don't like, Ruben, is I'm right. It happens. I feel like they're doing this on purpose sometimes. Right in the middle of the lesson, putting their
yes.
hand up, and I'm thinking they want to contribute, but half of me knows, oh no, they don't want to contribute. They're gonna say, "Can I go to the restroom?" And I'm like, "Urgh."
Okay.
And
We
I know you probably have a good solution.
we might. I think we might have broached this topic
I think
before.
we did talk
I
about
think
it
in the
once.
first season, and it's good to revisit it. So because this was one of my biggest gripes for sure. And you just hit it. You just hit one of the reasons is I'm in the middle of a flow of a lesson. And I'll tell you what I really hate. The intense hand up. Like, I got something to add, or I got a question about this
You
this
get
this
excited a little
concept.
bit.
And they get excited. And yeah, the restroom. Can I use the restroom? And it got to the point where I said, this has to change. This irritates me too much, and this really interrupts the flow of the class. So I realized, okay, um, three things, and I think it's going to impact you. Okay, first of all, don't interrupt my flow. You're gonna anger me, and I don't get angry easily. Do not interrupt ever. Do not interrupt me to go to the restroom. Just take the pass. If I'm in a lesson, I'm gonna call your parent if you interrupt my class. And then the students, they see it. You know, take the pass and don't even ask me to go to the restroom.
My issue though, Ruben.
Step
Okay,
one.
okay.
Step two is do now you interrupted my flow.
Sorry.
You are part of
I'm part of the problem. I'm not part of the solution. I don't think. I apologize.
yes, you're part of the problem. Step two, it's gonna really impact phone. It's gonna impact restroom use. Is you're gonna leave the phone here, and especially start honing in to the culprits, the repeat offenders who like the restroom. They're using their phone. So okay, leave your phone. Oh, I don't need to go to the restroom after all. Then sit down. So they're no longer interrupting my flow. I don't care then if you need to use the restroom, take the pass. But then your radar is up for the few who keep doing it. You leave the phone, okay. But then you might have people who still keep doing it. And here's another impactful thing that I've learned. Learn the power of no. There's a couple of students I can think of who just use the restroom every day to get out of class. And it's like, I'm gonna really work with those kids. Okay, can you please let me finish what I'm about to say before I let you go? Or I'll even just say no. There's one kid I say no to. He can't go. Restroom is banned. So
Can I say something though? I liked your 2 and 3. One is a little problem for me because I have to sign. I am not allowed to let them go unless I sign the board.
Sign it if you have to. Wait, don't interrupt my flow. That's not an option. You're not interrupting me to tell me to use the restroom. You are going to get this the thing, and you are putting it in front of me, but you do not raise your hand,
Oh, I
and you
get
do
it. That's
not
good.
interrupt my
Don't
flow.
raise your hand. Don't interrupt. You could put the board
No,
in front of me.
because
I'll know what.
it's you agree with me. Oh, I'm agreeing with you. It is incredibly disruptive to the class. And I know people who might be watching this are thinking, come on, these guys are babies. No, it doesn't. There's something to when students are connecting and you disrupt it on nonsense.
Yeah.
And what's worse is many of these restroom interruptions are illegitimate. They're using the phone, or they're
Meeting a
just
friend.
they're meeting a friend, they're smoking.
Hey, yeah, that's true though. They do. Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, we
And
got to the
thank you,
bottom of
Ruben.
it.
Yeah, that's very helpful. And I think, yeah, I'm gonna definitely use a couple of those steps just because I get in the middle of it and I just forget and I just get a little flustered. And it is a pet peeve. But these are, and then pretty much that's it. Those are the big ones: the makeup, the
The
restrooms, the
the thing, well,
announcements.
we already mentioned the makeup. That's a you thing, but
Yeah,
the problem with the restroom too is that the sometimes what I'll do is I'll say yes, but can you let me finish this point? And oh yeah, yeah, and they sit down. They don't really have to go, and sometimes they forget. Sometimes because they're in the middle of something. Can you really at least do this? I try really hard not to argue with them though, because that wastes energy and time. You use it too much. Some teachers do that, and like, no, don't fight. Just say, okay, okay, well, hold on though, or let me have your phone. Or
yeah.
there's strategies to reduce it. Okay, everybody, we got things off our chest. We ranted a little bit. We feel a little better, I think. At
I
least I
feel he keeps saying we, but I think it was me, right? I'm the one who ranted. And
yes. I did a little rant too. So,
okay.
all right. We'll see you next time, everybody. Goodbye.